Story 1: Masters in Acting. I applied the skills I learned from a student job constructing theater sets and became a general contractor. Story 2: I have a history degree. In June 2020, I took a full-time job unrelated to my studies because I wanted to have something at hand. I ended up loving the job, so I did not pursue a master's degree or teaching credentials. Talking to my peers, I am glad I made that choice. Now, I work in public transit, and it is honestly much more fulfilling than I ever expected. Story 3: I initially thought that obtaining a chemistry degree would be a straightforward way to secure valuable credentials, but I discovered that most entry-level lab positions are available to individuals with a high school diploma or GED and often pay less than fast food jobs in my area. However, hazardous waste management can be a viable option for anyone considering it. While it carries its own risks, including potential long-term health issues, there is life insurance available, ensuring that loved ones are provided for in the event of an untimely passing. Story 4: I earned a degree in the arts. While working from home, I started a business. Now I own a marketing agency that generates 6 figures monthly. Story 5: I have an English degree. I perform data entry and paperwork at a medical clinic. Computer literacy and professional writing and typing skills are very helpful. Story 6: I earned my Bachelor of Arts in French and a Master of Arts in French Linguistics. I enjoyed every moment, but I never found my intended career in teaching French. Instead, I taught computer science courses for a while and later became an instructional designer. I just retired last month and do not regret any of it. Story 7: Unemployed political science major. Undergraduate education was expensive, and law school is financially out of reach. Story 8: I have a theater degree and obtained a Master of Fine Arts in writing. I experienced burnout from both fields, although I still write. Eventually, I became a district merchandising manager after working my way through graduate school as a retail manager and merchandiser. Story 9: I studied computer games programming, a degree I switched to from computer science in my first semester. I secured a position as a programmer for a studio that developed gambling games, and 6 years later, I began working at an indie games publisher. I was laid off from that position 18 months ago, but now I work as a games programmer for a large games company. I'm not as unproductive as my dad feared. Story 10: My late sister disliked mathematics, barely passed Algebra 1 and stopped after geometry. She majored in art and eventually became a programmer for American Express. Story 11: I have a degree in political science. I decided not to go to law school. I work in insurance, and because I develop strong writing skills, I can do much of my work via email with client services. I earn a decent income and have a job that allows me to work from home. Education is never wasted and always helps, even if it's not the path you originally envisioned. Story 12: I earned a degree in anthropology. My father, having financed this degree, then told me I needed something with a certificate. So off to nursing school I went. It was the perfect profession for me. Story 13: The number of people here who say they went to school for something far removed from computer science and are now working as programmers or in IT really highlights the diverse backgrounds of my colleagues. Story 14: I have a degree in music performance and work for an impressive startup. I would highly recommend it. Great employers do not really care what kind of degree you have, as long as you are hardworking and can solve problems. Story 15: I have a son with a bachelor's and master's degree in music, but he did not pursue music as a career. He works as a manager and trainer at an upscale gym in a large city and earns about 6 figures a year. I am proud of him despite his choice not to follow his degree career. As long as he is happy, that is what matters most. Story 16: I attended art school. I am now the innovation product manager who guides the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics majors on what to create. I earned a top 20 Master of Business Administration, which helped position my resume effectively. I work at a company that develops art and design tools, making it clear to everyone why I was the ideal choice. I needed both degrees to reach this point. Story 17: Theater degree leads to becoming a partner at an advertising agency. I use my degree multiple times every day, And my 20s were certainly more enjoyable than those of many professionals who earn just as much as I do now. It's risky, but I believe in doing what you love while knowing when to adapt. Story 18. I have a degree in criminal justice and want to attend law school. I am currently a paralegal waiting for the right opportunity to pursue my legal education. Story 19. Not my story. I met a man who said he had a useless degree. I asked him what it was. He said it was Victorian studies. But then steampunk became popular. He is doing really well as a maker now. He was also a judge on a show about steampunk crafts and wrote a book. Story 20. I have an English degree and work as a bank teller, which I absolutely adore. It has everything I love about retail, such as interacting with people and using cash registers, but none of the negative aspects like coworker drama, poor scheduling, or cleaning up spilled food or broken glass. Story 21. Degree. Recreation and leisure with an emphasis on event planning. Job working at a Disney resort in a recreation role. Pursuing further education in elementary education. Story 22. Geography is not useless at all, but many people believe it to be. Every company and government uses geographic information systems in some capacity, but I digress. Everyone I know from school is gainfully employed, but there are very few set paths, the exceptions being environmental consulting and geographic information system analysts. Geographers are also social scientists or physical scientists with a social science perspective, making them skilled in critical thinking and examining issues from multiple angles. I have been working in many non-academic jobs at a university, and it is very fulfilling. The pay would be better in the private sector, but I am happy. The work-life balance is great, and I enjoy the diversity of people who work in universities. Story 23. The Bachelor of Arts in English and History led to an education degree, which resulted in a career in education. Not bad for a degree that some might consider useless, right, Mom? Story 24. I have a degree in business and recently completed 19 years in the Army. I enjoy great job stability during wartime. Story 25. Music degree. I work in the industry and earn a good living, but I certainly didn't need to spend 5 years in college to develop the skills that brought me to this point. Story 26. I originally attended school for graphic design, but I became intimidated by artificial intelligence and was generally tired of school. So, I changed my degree to interdisciplinary studies. A year later, I became a safety manager, earning double what I was making before. The great thing about an interdisciplinary degree is that it can be whatever you want it to be in the eyes of employers, as many are unaware of its specifics. Story 27. I have a degree in journalism. I have worked in education as a teacher, technology specialist, and currently as an administrator. Story 28. It depends on your definition of useless. I earned a pharmacy degree and am now working in technology, specifically in experience design for fashion e-commerce. I make more money now than I did in pharmacy. Is my degree useless now? Yes. However, I also wouldn't have been able to reach my current position without it. So, it is not useless, but it is not as useful at the moment. Story 29. I have a history degree with a minor in law and politics, and I am currently a business analyst at a medium-sized insurance company. I would prefer to work at a museum or an archive, but the insurance job is stable and pays the bills. I also have a matching retirement plan, a bonus, and a corporate expense account, so I don't have many regrets. I have considered running for office or serving in government at some point. Story 30. I have an art history degree and currently work as a product manager. My career journey has been more successful than I initially expected, but it took me some time to reach this point. Story 31. I have a studio art degree but was unprepared for the level of self-marketing and motivation required to secure a job, even though I chose the safe path of graphic design. Nonetheless, I returned to school and took courses in computer science and programming. Although I did not obtain a degree, I secured an entry-level computer programming job with the state and worked my way up as I gained experience. Story 32. I have a degree in anthropology with a focus on pre-medicine. I was accepted into medical school and secured my top choice for residency. I have been in practice for 20 years, training dozens of medical students and residents. I have served as vice president and medical director for a large multi-center health clinic. Currently, I hold a well-paid position as I approach retirement. I am still under 50 for a few more months and expect to reach my financial goals in the next 5 years. Let your passions open doors for you. Just be willing to walk through them. Story 33. I pursued an English degree, unsure of the career path I would take. My childhood passion for reading, sparked by Ramona Quimby books, gave me confidence that things would work out. After college, I applied for numerous positions and eventually became an administrative assistant at a technology company. This role transitioned into technical writing and opened doors to various positions within the technology sector. In the end, everything worked out well. Story 34. I have a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature. I earn a six-figure salary as a professional technical writer and editor. I would say things are going quite well. Story 35. Theater degree. I work in the entertainment industry, use my degree frequently, and am doing well. Story 36. I hold a double major in English and political science. I worked in the federal government for about a decade before transitioning into consulting. I previously believed my degree was worthless, but I have come to realize that the skills of writing, editing, public speaking, and critical thinking, which I developed in college, are invaluable. Many individuals graduate from college and graduate school without mastering these skills, and the situation appears to be deteriorating. While advanced language models have made some improvements, many are relying on them excessively, and it is evident. Story 37. Film degree. You can find my name in the set lighting or grip section at the end of Marvel movies, Top Gun, Maverick, and this summer's Formula One, alongside network television shows and various independent films you may not be familiar with. Story 38. I have an associate's degree in business administration. I have never seen any job posting list an associate's degree as a requirement or preference. Every job that I have seen requiring a degree asks for at least a bachelor's degree. Low-skilled or manual labor jobs typically do not require a degree at all. An associate's degree is mainly of practical value as a stepping stone in education, not on its own. I have a director-level position at a 9-figure company. I was fortunate with my first job and then continued to advance by leveraging my experience. Story 39. A friend of mine has a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities and graduated with honors. She is a receptionist at an eye doctor's office, earning $17 an hour to pay off $63,000 in student debt. I asked her why she chose that degree knowing the return on investment was so low. Her response was, "It was my dream. I hope her dream was worth it." Story 40. A friend of mine and I started studying computer science together. He dropped out and earned a master's degree in Japanese studies and Old English. Now he works in information technology. Story 41. My bachelor's degree was in economics, and I took no sciences as an undergraduate. Later, I completed a post-baccalaureate pre-med program and am currently a physician with 12 years of experience in independent practice. Story 42. Criminology and criminal justice. I am an accounts assistant and I am about to start a new job with a housing charity. Story 43. It kind of paid for itself in the form of visas. I needed a degree for some of the visas I obtained for various countries. I received my first job offer after 3 years of unemployment since graduating, and it was in Taiwan. The job was unrelated to my degree, but my degree enabled me to start a career of sorts. Story 44. English and creative writing. I was so deeply agoraphobic and socially anxious that I could barely function before my degree. Studying something I was genuinely passionate about made the push towards independence achievable. If I had studied finance as planned, I definitely wouldn't have made it to the end of my time at university in one piece. The fact that I am nearly 30 with a wide group of friends and a comfortable job as a medical administrator is entirely because I used my time at university to grow into adulthood securely. College can be valuable in various ways. It is unfortunate that it is so expensive that attending for personal growth is not feasible for many people. Story 45. I'm not sure how much I'd describe a degree as useless. Every degree can be useful, right? I guess it matters what percentage of people actually end up using that degree. I don't know what percentage would take it from useless to useful, though. With that said, the people I know with degrees that are often considered useless include history, works in a lawyer's office, filing paperwork, history manager at an engineering company, kind of a one-man show in his department, hospitality housewife, Spanish, works in information technology on government contracts but struggles to maintain employment, English, currently unemployed, citing medical issues, though others believe it is an excuse, philosophy, last I heard, she worked at her father's school for troubled or handicapped children. That school has since closed, and now she frequently posts about church activities. Her husband has an engineering degree and became a stay-at-home husband shortly after graduating. They married while in college. Art. She married a soldier, which may have made it difficult for her to find a lasting career. Previously, she worked in a frame shop in Alabama, where her boss wouldn't let her use any tools. I'm not sure what she's doing now. My father obtained a business degree, thinking it would help him manage people in the army. He later said it was a waste of time. I have a friend with an architecture degree who could not find a job after graduating in 2008. They currently work for the government, processing soldiers as they return to the United States, having secured the job through a family member. I have another friend with an architecture degree who faced similar challenges. Fortunately, they were already in the National Guard and took a full-time position as a deputy base architect. It's not exactly what they studied for, but it is related to architecture. Story 46. Not useless, but people always said I had a degree from Coventry University in financial economics that was not valuable. I was recently a partner in a debt advisory firm. Story 47. I have a theater degree and received technical training through the military reserves, working in that field for decades. Several jobs have required at least a bachelor's degree to get hired, but it didn't matter that my degree was in theater since I had training specific to the job. It was almost like a separate minimum education requirement. Story 48. I had to pursue a more advanced degree to advance my career. Now 8 years out of undergraduate studies, I see that nearly everyone I know who obtained a non-technical degree needed additional education or certification before securing a worthwhile job. I would advise my children that, unless they have a specific and realistic career plan associated with a non-technical degree, they should consider majoring in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or business and economics, even if they are not particularly passionate about those fields. Story 49. I hold bachelor's and master's degrees in political science. I realize that the area I am from is not conducive to finding jobs aligned with my political interests, and I lack the resources and motivation to relocate. Even in academia, my subfield, American politics, was, and likely still is, very competitive, with many individuals vying for only a few positions. Additionally, I became disillusioned with politics in general. Currently, I work in patient registration. Story 50. I have an English degree and a history degree. I work in project management and currently earn $90,000 per year. I would say it has turned out quite well. Story 51. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Comedy and a Master of Arts in Scriptwriting. They haven't served me in my career, but they have been useful in life. I do comedy on the side and at a level where I actually get paid for it now. Scriptwriting helped me understand persuasive language very well, which is particularly useful in this age of misinformation and extreme political views. Additionally, the experience of attending university was incredible. While the degrees may seem useless, I am so glad I pursued them. Story 52. I started a job as an equipment operator that didn't require a degree. I then moved into a management position that required a 4-year degree in any major. My experience has been valuable ever since, particularly with my communications degree. Story 53. I have an English literature degree and I am a vice president of software engineering. I have been coding since I was a child and entered the field before it became highly professionalized. Story 54. I have a degree in music education that I have never used because there were no available jobs near me when I graduated. I continued in the line of work I had during college and eventually made it my career. Story 55. I have a general studies degree and initially pursued a major in music performance but decided to change my path as I was unsure of what else to pursue and was feeling fatigued with college. Currently, I work as a medical coder and I love it. Story 56. I obtained a philosophy degree and became involved with an anarchist collective, which connected me with the chair of the economics department at my university. We developed a good rapport and he encouraged me to apply to the program, which I did. I consistently ranked among the top students and secured a research assistant position. Now I earn a six-figure salary in the energy sector. Many people claim that a master's degree in economics naturally leads to high earnings, but they often overlook the fact that I would not have achieved that master's degree without my philosophy degree and the choices I made along the way. Story 57. I hold a dual degree in history and humanities, focusing on classical civilizations. I worked in credit unions for several years before attending law school. Now, 10 years after graduating from law school, I am a high-level federal employee, although I worry about job security with the current administration. I earn a good salary and I am married to someone in the private sector who makes more than I do and has a much higher earning potential than I will ever have in public service. I can't complain. Story 58. English Language and Literature Bachelor's Degree. I worked in advertising for 15 years. Now I have a good job in marketing for a multinational company and earn a good salary. The friends I have from university who studied the same course are mostly lawyers, journalists, academics, or work in various marketing fields. I can still quote a lot of poetry from memory, but I don't get the chance to do so much anymore. Story 59. Bachelor of Fine Arts in Photography. I do some freelance work and currently work in ambulance billing as a trainer. I enjoy my job, and I still get to create things that are creative and fun. Story 60. Bachelor of Science in Information Systems Management. Worked in satellite telecommunications, satellite tracking, and currently involved in autonomous machines. Story 61. Theater major. Now I work in information technology. Pays the bills. My extroverted nature helps me stand out in a crowd. Good stuff. Story 62. Geology and Environmental Science. $16 per hour in health insurance. That degree was incredibly difficult. The stress almost overwhelmed me. My parents said, "Come home with a degree, not a baby." Finite mathematics and chemistry classes took a toll on me. However, it remains my life's only accomplishment. Story 63. Musical Theater Bachelor of Arts, 2016. Master of Arts in Vocal Pedagogy. I am currently a vocal coach, working 3.5 days a week for 30 weeks a year. I earn the same annually as my partner, who works 40 hours a week for 45 weeks a year, but I have a competitive hourly rate. I love what I do, but I would like to lecture in acting through song at drama schools. I feel held back by my lack of piano skills. Many graduates who did not perform are now retrained as flight attendants, human resources professionals, or nurses. Story 64. History degree. I am a fire alarm technician. At least my degree helped me gain points when I immigrated to Canada. Story 65. I have a Bachelor of Arts in History and worked in a restaurant for 5 years before returning to pursue a degree in engineering. I have been an engineer for 10 years now. Story 66. I earned an art degree, left the country, became an English teacher overseas, and absolutely loved life. Story 67. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Classical History. I returned to school for environmental studies and then pursued a professional master's degree. It worked out well, but it took some time. Story 68. Communications took an entry-level supervisor job in supply chain management after graduation. It is a blue-collar industry where those types of skills and professionalism are sometimes lacking. Eventually, I earned my master's degree, and now I earn over $150,000 while working from home. Identify where your skills, whatever they are, set you apart in an industry and strive to excel there. Story 69. Is a graphic communication degree a useless degree? I am currently working as a digital marketer for a real estate company. Story 70. Parks, Recreation and Tourism Management degree. I have never worked in anything related, but I can confidently own a room, which has led me to high-profile corporate negotiations. Keep going until you can't. Story 71. Classical languages degree, Latin and Greek. I am a software engineering manager for a decent company and I am earning a good salary. Story 72. I have a degree in office information technology, which means I know how to use a computer, fax machine, and handle paperwork. It was a variation of office administration. It never really served me well, and now I work as a truck driver. Story 73. I have degrees in English composition and engineering design, which is essentially a less valuable interdisciplinary version of a real engineering degree. I work in oil field services with specialized certifications in supervisory control and data acquisition systems and wireless communication. I could have joined the military, received 2 driving while intoxicated charges, and been on my 3rd divorce by now, ending up in the same situation as many of my coworkers. Story 74. It would have been better not to pursue this opportunity. It has been a waste of my time, energy, and money. I never even had an interview in a corporate setting and never received a callback from any job application. Knowledge and experience seem to mean nothing. It's all about connections. Story 75. I have a Chinese degree with a minor in Asian studies and graduated in spring 2020. I had a conditional offer for a postgraduate position that was withdrawn due to COVID-19. I ended up working at FedEx with my older brother, who also holds a Chinese degree and was there waiting for his military ship date. I worked there for a year while searching for non-customer service jobs that utilized my Chinese skills. Eventually, I did not find a position I liked, so I took a job with the state water company. I have been in this role for 4 years, and through promotions and raises, I have nearly doubled my starting salary. While I may not become wealthy in this job, I have certainly fared better than many others. Story 76. I majored in literature and writing. I made a good middle-class living as a writer, ghostwriter, speechwriter, and medical writer for 40 years, with only one 3-month period of unemployment. My advice to anyone starting out with a similar degree today is to seek work as a writer at a large company, academic medical center, or insurance company, though the latter should only be considered if you are in urgent need. I also wrote successful novels. However, even successful novels only pay the bills temporarily. Aim for a salary along with benefits like a pension or retirement savings plan. Government at all levels also hires salaried writers. Story 77. I have a degree in computer science. While the degree itself is not very useful, it helped me secure interviews. I then learned real skills on the job, and now I have a good, stable position. Story 78. I have a writing degree and use it frequently. While I don't send my colleagues poems, effective communication is valuable. Story 79. I have a degree in French, but I haven't spoken it since graduation and I've forgotten most of it. I spent a few years teaching and I now work as a corporate trainer. It was helpful during the summers in college when I stayed with family in Paris, but it hasn't benefited me since I received my diploma. Story 80. I have a linguistics degree and a master's in speech and hearing sciences, leading to a decent career in public schools. This turned out well so far. Story 81. I have a degree in biology and chemistry, but I would have an easier time finding work if I had studied gender studies. 3 to 4 years ago, people dismissed gender studies, but now it is one of the degrees that leads to better employment conditions. Story 82. I have an art and design degree. I left the design world for manufacturing and now I work on machining biomedical implants and creating innovative products all day instead of focusing on design-related emails. Story 83. I have a degree in commercial art and graphic design. I experienced the transition in advertising from teams of layout artists hand-drawing lettering and artwork to a few individuals using computers for clip art designs. I minored in math, which led me to a job as a chemical lab technician because they needed someone with strong calculation skills. In 15 years, I advanced from a lab technician in a wet lab to a research lab, eventually becoming a research chemist. Over the next 18 years, I transitioned from chemistry to supply chain management and then to a distribution center specialist role. The best advice: never stop training. If your company offers or will pay for any training, take advantage of it. Not only does it enhance your skills, but it also strengthens your resume. Story 84. Recreation majors, where are you? I retired after 30 years designing accessories for ski brands. It had its advantages. Story 85. I hold a Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Arts. Initially, I aspired to become a professor or teacher, but I built a career in marketing within the asset management industry. The term useless is relative. I believe that liberal arts graduates will succeed when they discover how their skills align with the business world. Story 86. I have a degree in speech and drama, focused on becoming a high school speech teacher. In the speech classes, I participated in contests including debate, extemporaneous speeches, and persuasive speeches. However, I discovered that I did not enjoy teaching. I then attended law school. The experience I gained in speech contests gave me an advantage over my peers in researching and writing persuasive briefs, presenting oral arguments in court, and trying cases. Story 87. I have a business degree with hopes of opening a restaurant with my former girlfriend. I currently work in management for a gaming team, and I enjoy it because I am a gamer. Story 88. I knew a girl who earned a writing degree from a very expensive university and accumulated a significant amount of debt. She never worked in any type of writing, and the last I heard, she was pursuing a master's degree in a completely different field. Story 89. Not sure if these qualify as useless, but I have a bachelor's degree in music composition, bassoon performance, and music education, as well as a master's degree in music composition. For the most part, I love it. I've been the artist in residence in 4 national parks, and I write symphonic music about my experiences, which have been funded by orchestras across the United States and have thus far received high acclaim. In that process, I've developed considerable wilderness knowledge and work as a guide in national parks. These two are currently my main focus and are incredibly fulfilling when they get going. I also teach bassoon part-time, which is stable and morally rewarding since most band directors don't know much about the bassoon, though it isn't very intellectually stimulating. Additionally, I perform with orchestras in my metropolitan area from time to time, which is usually enjoyable since I am exposed to more music, aiding my composing, and I often play with friends from music school. I have also developed a deck of national park-themed playing cards that is being sold online and in gift shops across the country. It was fun to design and serves as mostly passive income. Once you add all that together, I wouldn't exactly call it lucrative. It's a ton of work, and it hasn't always been smooth sailing. The pandemic was scary, and during that time I turned towards sculpture, which was going well, but I don't have time for it anymore since my residencies began and composing took off. Ultimately, though, my life is more fun and interesting than the vast majority of people I know, and I feel like I am contributing to humanity in my own way. That said, I can't say I would recommend pursuing music degrees to most people unless you are either exceptionally skilled and passionate about what you do or have enough wealth and career prospects to get a degree simply for the sake of improving your art. Story 90. I have a theater degree and it was completely worth it. It taught me many valuable skills that I apply in all aspects of life and career. Story 91. My husband has a degree in graphic design and has worked as a plumber for the last 16 years. Story 92. Political science degree. I couldn't find work in my field, so I accepted the only job available, writing advertisement copy for an advertising agency. It was supposed to be temporary. 14 years later, I am currently a marketing manager at a publicly traded, California-based technology company that sells business-to-business software as a service products, earning 6 figures. Story 93. I have an English degree and a Master of Fine Arts in creative writing. I currently work at a housing nonprofit and I do not regret my degree at all. I would not have excelled in more technical fields, even if I had tried them. My Master of Fine Arts was funded through my role as a teaching assistant, so I did not incur any debt. I do use my degree to some extent for writing our newsletter and managing social media, and I find my job fulfilling, which is very valuable to me. Story 94. I obtained an associate degree in biology at a community college and never transferred to pursue a bachelor's degree. I started working in IT at a large company. Years later, I transitioned to procurement as a construction purchaser. Story 95. I have a degree in writing and drama. Over the past 30 years since my graduation, I have acted in over 100 plays, directed 3 national tours, and performed at the Edinburgh Festival and the Oxford Shakespeare Festival. I have also written 2 novels. I am recognized as an author. Meanwhile, I work full-time as a porter in a hospital. I enjoy my job, but my degree has greatly enriched my life. Story 96. I am a dual major in political science and Black studies who decided not to pursue law school, as I initially thought I wanted to be a civil rights lawyer. Now, I work in product marketing for a technology company, enjoying great pay and an amazing work-life balance. Story 97. My degree is in telecommunications with a focus on television and video production. The program primarily used pneumatic technology. However, the industry switched to Avid systems. My minor was in speech and theater, which proved to be very helpful in my corporate career. I had the opportunity to propose a special project, and I chose to create a website. I graduated right as the dot-com era began. Story 98. I have a philosophy degree and have been a bartender for about 18 years. I initially thought I wanted to spend my life in academia, but I quickly realized that spending my life with undergraduates was not for me. I wouldn't trade the friends and family I've made along the way for anything. I constantly meet interesting people, hang out with comedians and musicians, and have a schedule that allows me to pursue all of my hobbies to whatever extent I wish. It helps that I work in neighborhood bars that cater to older customers, typically in their 30s and up, as well as to creatives. I have also worked in the same bars for 15 years. Story 99. Bachelor of Fine Arts in Textiles. I got a job at a law firm after college and spent 12 years there. Now, I am an executive assistant in a corporate legal department. Story 100. I have a history degree. Throughout university and before I graduated, I worked part-time at a local grocery store. I finished my degree last April and I am still working at the grocery store. The hours are flexible. If I want to work 40 hours in a week instead of 25, I can do that. I will be honest and say I wasn't actively job hunting when I finished my degree because some significant life events occurred at the same time. Currently, I do not plan on getting a job directly related to my degree, but after considering my options, I am trying to pursue roles in copywriting or content writing. Story 101. Graduated with degrees in aerospace engineering and English literature. I thought the latter was unnecessary. After 15 years of technical work investigating why aircraft engines failed, I moved into a non-technical management position that required understanding why the human aspect of the organization was struggling. Story 102. I wouldn't say my Bachelor of Science in Business is useless, but I have a 30-year career in information technology that has worked out well. Doors were closed because my degree is in a different field, and to some, that mattered more than work experience. However, I simply knocked on other doors that were open. Story 103. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Theater Arts. I am a criminal defense investigator, and it is surprisingly relevant. Story 104. I have a music major and taught lessons for about 5 years before getting a full-time job with better pay. I currently work in heat treatment for a factory that produces auto parts. The work is physical but reliable, routine, and offers good benefits and hours. I didn't particularly enjoy teaching, as many students were not serious. I prefer the stability of a steady paycheck. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.